So in this video, we're going to apply this new knowledge of sending multiple parameters into a function, and we're going to write a program that's going to ultimately ask the user to enter in the base and height of a triangle, and then it's going to calculate the area of that triangle. So we're going to have our main program, and what we're going to do here is we're going to basically ask the user for the base and height of that triangle to start. And we always know before that we're going to have some sort of welcome message. So here I could use a function or not. It's kind of up to me. Here, again, I could use a function or not. Again, it's up to me. I can always return the values back. But then I do want to write an area function for sure. So in this one, I'm going to write an area function, and it's going to need the base and height sent into it. And then it's going to return the area of the triangle. And then at the very, very end, we're just going to print the output to the screen. Again, we could use a function or not. That's up to us. So this is just my brainstorming. Here is the main function that I do need to write. I'm going to put that in blue so I remember that. But what I need to do first is now open up a new file in Python, do File, Save As. We'll go into our computer science projects in Unit 6, and we'll do Unit 6, lesson 4A. Rewrite it here. Well, hold on, we'll do that again. Lesson 4A, and this one is going to be area of a triangle. We'll do multiple parameters as our note. Much better name. All right, so here it's Unit 6, Lesson 4, multiple parameters. And then from here it's going to calculate the area of a triangle using a function that takes in multiple parameters. So we're going to start with a welcome message. Remember, we always need to have our definition main at the very, very top. And then inside of there is where we're going to have our welcome message. Now, you could use a function for this if you wanted. I'm just going to print a general message to the screen, but at this point, you should know how to write a welcome message that can be called to print something to the screen. So I'm going to say, welcome to our program. We will calculate the area for any triangle. Now from here, remember, if you did want to make this into a function, you would just go down, have definition welcome as your function name. You'd copy this same code into there. Voila. And then from here, you would just call the welcome function. So you should know how to do that. Either way is fine in this case. So if you want to have a function, that's great. If you don't, because it's only one line of code, that is okay too. And this is a welcome message function. Okay, so my next step is to ask the user for the height and base. So to start, I'm going to just do this by hand, and I'll show you how we can use a function a little bit later. But we need to get the base and height of the triangle from the user. So here we're going to have base, and then I'll have eval input. Please enter in the base of the triangle. And then the same thing with the height, but it's going to say height instead. So please enter in the height of the triangle. This will get the information from the user. And then from here is where I actually want to calculate the area. So this is where you definitely are going to write another function because you're going to want to send in multiple parameters. And this function will calculate the area of a triangle. And from here, we'll need to take in two parameters, the base and the height, and it will return the area of the triangle. Given the base and the height. Okay, so from here I have definition. I'm going to call this triangle area. And I know that I'm going to take in parameters. So unlike the welcome definition where I don't take any parameters in, here I'm going to take in two parameters. I'm going to take in the base, and I'm going to take in the height. Now remember, order matters here. So I'm going to have a base and a height sent into here. And remember from the previous videos in this lesson, these are different from base and height up here. This is base and height for the main. This is base and height for triangle area. Then inside of here, once values are passed in, base and height will have an actual value. And then from here, I can calculate the area with the provided base and height. So I have area equals, we'll do base times height times 0.5, because that's how we calculate the area. And then we want to return the area back to the calling function. So we write return area. Now, something to note here is I do not have to use base and height like I did up here. What I could do instead is I could change this to B and H, as long as I use B and H here. So remember, these are different variables than these up here, even if they have the exact same name. So I'm going to leave these as B and H because to me it's just easier to see them as different variables if they're different variables. But then what I need to note is when I call triangle area the function up here, there are two things I need to do. First, I need to send in values to be assigned to both B and H. So here I'm going to send in base and height. And what's going to happen when this program runs is whatever base is equal to is going to be assigned to B. We're going to pass the value of base to be the value for B. And then we're going to pass the value that's currently in there for height to be the value for H. So remember, we're passing the values and we're assigning them to the variable that they line up with. Now, because this returns an area, we also want to make sure that we save that area somewhere. So here I'm going to type in area equals, and again, remember, this area is different than this area. So here we're going to calculate the area using the triangle area function and save the returned results into mains variable named area. And from here, we can print this out to the screen. We can say the area of your triangle is, and we will print area, the variable out of main, to the screen. So here I have a general breakdown of my program. We're now going to run it and test it out. So I need to type main at the very, very bottom to make sure that I can test that out. Remember, this is what runs the main program. Go. We'll enter in 6, we'll enter in 10. So 6 times 10 would be 60, divided by 2 is 30. We can see our area is working. So this is in general what multiple parameters look like. Now, if you want to return multiple values, which something that gets a little bit tricky, I will talk about that in the next video. It's an optional video, but some students really like to see how you can return multiple values as well as just like having multiple parameters here.